You know what? You know what?
Here we
you know
go.
what? Are we putting these down or on?
On. You on? We're live now.
Okay.
All right. What's going on, everybody? It is time for the festivities to begin. I don't think they're ready.
I'm ready.
I don't think they're ready.
I am.
Shouts out to Adrian Bill for joining us on
Yes.
at the round table.
We got A money back.
Hey.
We got our refund early.
Yes. What's going on, y'all?
Everything is good. Nice to be back with y'all again.
Yes,
Good to have you back, man. Good to have you back, man. Seemed like forever.
It
We've
does.
all been together.
Yep.
Starting off 2020 strong. We are at the Roundtable Podcast Show, and I get the opportunity to introduce these amazing people. Starting over here in front of me is the lovely, the talented Melissa Bartlett, aka
Pitbull in the dress.
I don't know if I'll be all of those things, but hello, guys. Hello, podcast family. Miss you guys. Been great. New year so far, and the last show that we had the opportunity to do, I took a lot of the comments that were posted and a lot of the things that we shared with each other, and I have implemented them. And I'm telling you, you have better days when you focus on just being great. I'm telling you.
Every time. See what happens, man? You got to follow behind that.
And
Coming to the stage.
Coming to the stage.
The man, the myth, the legend, Adrian Biddle, aka
Hey, Monday.
Why is that?
Because you can bank on them.
Yes, sir. What's
This
going
is
on?
our fact checker.
Yes. What's going on, bro?
Man, nothing much. Like I said, man, I've been missing sitting in the seat with y'all.
Yes,
Certainly great to be back with y'all enjoying both of you companies.
That's right.
Yeah, I wish I had something philosophical to say, just like how Melissa just got to delivering that. But only thing I can say is, hey, family.
I know that's right.
Just speaking from my heart. And then we got our one and only.
The man that stirs the drink.
Carrie Dixby, CD.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Gets the shout out to Kingly Living for joining us on At the Round Table right now. What's going on, brother? Thank you for joining us. Hey, Kingly Living, do me a favor. Go out there and tell mom and them, pop and them, everybody that we are on and popping up. Tammy Lawrence just jumped on At the Roundtable Podcast Show. What's going on, Tammy? What's going on? Tammy Tam. How you doing? It was a joke that was gonna come, but I ain't gonna do it right now. Too soon. We just getting started. We gotta flow into it because we haven't been together. We gotta warm up. Like the dream team. When they get on, they get on the court. They gotta warm up first. You don't want to do everything right yet.
Oh, please.
Let's warm up. But no, it's coming, Tammy. Just know. So what's going on, family? What y'all been up to?
Living.
Cricket. What?
About the same with me as well. Just trying to keep my head above water.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about.
I think it's a good enjoying the weather. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, it just keeps you on your toes. You can't get too comfortable with being in a routine because when you think you're cold and you got everything together and you got your layers, it's 60, 70 degrees outside. You think it's gonna be sunny. You gotta get your rain boots. It's just keeping you on your toes. So I like it. I say, you know what? I don't know what's gonna happen. Let me see what you got for me.
I know that's right. Shoot. Somebody said it best. It's like North Carolina's the only state you can go to. You can get 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah.
What's going on, Charlie 2? Thank you for joining us on At the Roundtable Podcast. Yay, Charlie 2, my sister. What's going on, Charlie? What you up to? Kingly, what you up to? Chime in. Tammy said, "What's up?"
What's up?
All right.
Y'all got quiet. It's been a while since.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity before we get started with our topic and letting our families log in and log on, I should say. Today, Trayvon Martin would have been 25. So we want to make sure we acknowledge today being his birthday, his heavenly birthday. And it just takes you back to say, wow, you know, it really doesn't even feel like it's been that long.
I know.
He would have been 25 today. And I want to shout out Jakari Caldwell. I had the opportunity to meet the Caldwell family a couple years ago playing kickball in Rock Hill. Go Rock Kickers. And I was playing kickball. Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yes, I was. There's actual video and footage of me doing this.
Somebody pull it up.
And he is the son of one of my teammates, and he signed to South Carolina Gamecocks to play football for them today. So I am extremely excited about him. He's extremely well-mannered, blessed, and an excellent athlete in everything that he's done. So what I can observe, and I am extremely excited about football season to watch him, you know, tear up that field. So congratulations, Jakari, for signing to the Gamecocks, and I hope you have a successful, not only football career year, but a successful education career too.
Congratulations, young king.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, so King Living. Oh, Kingly Living. What is this right here? So King Living has just dropped a. Okay. Dang, King Living. I might have to hire you, King. So King Living just dropped a link, okay, and it's an Amazon link. So I click on the link, and lo and behold, it's your boy's book that he's sitting up here promoting. Thank you, King. That brother right there is amazing. He said that's the link to Kerry's book.
Yeah, drop some knowledge on that real quick, man.
Man, you love putting somebody on the spot.
Okay, I do.
So just a quick blurb because we really want to get into the topic. The book was basically, it's called Conversation Starts to Paper, Words from Heart, Let the Discussions Begin. And I just did it. And I'm going to be very honest that I was going to wait and share this, but I'm going to share it now. When I wrote the book, I've been writing it for about 1.5 years. I received a Christmas gift from a certain person. And that Christmas gift allowed me to write things in it, thoughts, my plans, and things of that nature. Guess who gave me that? Ooh. That was the motivation for me to write the book and create it as a journal and not just a page turner and you just reading a whole bunch of stuff, but basically to put stuff in it that gets you to think and causes conversations, but then you get the opportunity to write it down later on and maybe further that conversation later. So it's not a lengthy book, but that was the reason why I did it as a journal, because someone blessed me with one that allowed me to write things as far as what I had to do during the day, my thought processes and stuff. So sis, thank you for that inspiration.
You're welcome.
So if y'all get a chance, help the little kid over here out and just go check it out, see what it's about. Stay tuned. We may be doing a book signing very soon. So thank you, Kingly Living. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for throwing me out there, bro.
And how about this? I already ordered mine, but I'll order 2. I will bless one of our viewers with this book.
And I'll sign it.
Signed. Showing us how many times you share our show tonight.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you. Oh, that's what's up. Boy, I'll tell you, blessings keep coming. Oh, Charlie Tootin just said this, guys. About to get off her full time, about to work my biz, and home in the QC last weekend of February. So you know.
So will I? Oh, Charlie. Yeah, we will talk off air.
Charlie said, also, I need 5 brand ambassadors and $6,385 in sales for my first quarter goal. Okay.
Gotcha.
Right. You heard it. All right, Charlie. So let's connect. Let's make this happen.
Yep.
Might be able to talk to my wife and see about doing something as well.
Yep.
That's what we do. We make these things happen. King Living, thank you. Charlie, thank you. What happened to Tammy? Tammy, where are you?
Tammy.
Hello.
Is this thing on? So, bro, go ahead and drop what we're going to talk about tonight.
Ooh, Adrian. What are we talking about?
Tonight's topic is, has the role of woman and man changed in society today?
What?
Has the role of woman and man changed in society today?
I'm gonna be quiet.
Getting to the thought process.
Can't be that.
I'm gonna reserve.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Reserve.
I'm gonna be reserved.
Wait a minute. Hold on. That's a joke there, and I'm not gonna go there. All right. So, topic: has the roles reversed between women and men in today's society? What say ye? What say ye? Oh, Tammy said I heard you. What, Tammy? Hold on. What, Tammy? Hey, Tammy, where's your daughter at? Because I want her to get on as well, because she be dropping some stuff as well. We need our family on tonight, because this is going to be a very good topic right here. Charlie, you heard the topic, and you always drop this prolific wisdom to us at the round table. King Living, man, you be having some words of wisdom as well. So what say ye tonight about the roles being reversed in society? Shout out to my wife Renee. She just hit me, text me. Come on, babe, jump on. We want to hear your thoughts as well. No, Melissa, you don't have to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and set the war. Go ahead.
I feel that I agree. The roles have changed. They've changed. I'm not gonna say reversed, but they have changed. I do feel that a lot is due to us having to adjust to society. Just men and women in general. We have to adjust to the changes that have taken place.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel that it has to do with people deliberately and willingly stepping out of place, stepping out of their roles. So I feel like it's a mix of reasons why.
Okay.
And I think I'm probably, what does King Lee call me?
The unicorn.
The unicorn to this subject, because as much as I think I like to be in my role as a woman, I find myself sometimes often stepping out of that role and taking care of handling business that the absence of a male isn't doing it. So it makes it very hard for your role to be defined, and sometimes you're judged. And so, yeah.
Okay. So Charlie 2 said, yes and no, depends on who's wondering. King Living said, are we just talking about blacks or any race?
Any race.
Any race, okay. And then, hey, Terry Digsby.
Terry,
my daughter, what's going on?
Hey, Terry.
All right, so Terry just asked the topic, and Charlie 2 just informed her of the topic. So, guys, y'all chime in. Let us know, what do you think? Kingly. Okay, so we're talking about any race right now, man. So do you think men are doing what women should be doing and vice versa? I mean, there's a plethora of lanes we can go down when it comes to this topic. Right. So we want y'all to kind of like chime in.
I know where Kingly going to. Hey, Mr. Cook.
Gerald Cook. What's going on, bro? Good to see you, man.
I know Kingly. I know you're going to bring it, and I feel like the roles in society have basically interchanged, but it has a direct effect on us as African American community, absolutely. And a lot of that we've had to do what we've had to do and step into those other roles because we've been targeted by so many situations that literally has taken our life and our lifestyle and our way of life. So I can't wait to hear how you make that all pretty and in a bow.
Yeah, I talked to him last week about it, and he has some good some good subject matter on it. I'm kind of anxious to hear what he's going to say also.
Daryl Cook, also Mr. Cook, he brings it too.
Yeah, he do. Tony Rushing, thank you for joining us at the round table. Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Very talented brother. 180 Productions. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious to what he's gonna say as well. Amen.
Yeah, I certainly think the dynamics have changed. You have more stay-at-home fathers now, rearing the kids, when just 20 or 30 years ago and beyond, it was, I don't want to sound stereotypical, but it was women that were doing that.
It was.
Sure.
And now you find more women being predominantly in roles of management and CEOs, vice presidents, more so than ever as well.
Yep.
True.
And this is where that split here comes when it comes down to the roles. You have some that feel like it's a disadvantage. You have some that can look at it as an opportunity, because without the open-mindedness of those roles being looked at as being just held, not versus gender specific, then you would not have that opportunity to have the wife or the mom or the woman, I should say, hold those VP positions and be the bread maker while the husband is the one, what is it called? A manny at home.
A manny?
Yeah. A
man. Oh, goodness gracious.
So no offense if there's any out there listening. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying that's what some of the terms are.
So now, I don't know if anybody commented yet.
Oh yeah, they're jumping in now. Go ahead.
But with that being said, does it hurt the family structure?
No. The family structure is not hurt. If your husband, and I have to come from a faith base because that's how I live my life. If the family structure is that the man is the head of your household, whether he stays at home or not. If that wife respects that man, the kids will respect that man. They don't know any different, because your respect is something that's given in your action and in your love, not the money that comes in. And so, the family structure first has to be defined or redefined versus, I'm the head of the household because I make the money, or the fact that I'm the man. That doesn't give you the right of being the head of the household. You are appointed by God as the head of the household, and then it is up to you to hold that role and hold that position.
Hold that thought. I'll go ahead and let you hit the comments.
So Charlie 2 just said, I think we are no longer discussing the roles or demands of them, so they are evolving for various reasons and or purposes. Tammy said, by being a single parent, you do tend to step into both roles.
Yep.
Then let's see. Terry said, I don't think they have changed, but we just aren't sticking to them, and that is of no benefit to anyone. Sometimes I would like a little more help with housework, but at the end of the day, I'm a wife and a mother, and that's my job. CJ expects me to cook most nights, and I should. He expects me to nurture our children, and I expect him to protect and enforce the discipline.
Yep.
Charlie then said, I think the roles have had to change as the nuclear family and or human nature has been forced to. Also, with the change of non-binary accepted roles present differently.
Yep.
All right, so Kingsley done dropped it.
Thanks, Charlie.
Charlie dropping knowledge, boys. He's like, wow, wait till I get there in February.
And now here comes Kingsley living. Okay.
So Kingsley says, well, it is hard to speak on any race because the white man is held as a symbol power to us all. The black family has always been under attack. Many black women bought into the women's liberation movement in the 70s, but what the white women didn't tell them is that you're losing your black man in the process.
Yep. He's true. That's the truth.
Woo! So then Terry says, when we step far outside of our roles, I think we end with these horrible humans. This generation is a direct result of women being out of the home too much. Whoa.
Everybody dropping something.
Whoa, boy.
Talk about some deep
It's
stuff.
coming. That is, man, okay.
I believe that we are nurturers by design.
So
You cannot, I'm not going to say you can't be, a successful businesswoman, working woman, educated woman, but you cannot move away from your design as being a nurturer. And you have to nurture that home,
But playing devil's advocate, people can get drunk with power. And I even have to check myself some of the time. With roles changing and a woman making more money, don't that kind of commands a little bit more respect.
No.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying, but that does not. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I am not. I don't care. I stayed at home with my children for 5 years. Okay. Ben was the sole provider of our finances. I did a little part-time here and there. I did a little this, that, and the other, but he was primarily the one that makes the money. Even now, in our salaries and blessed huge increases, he still is primarily our breadwinner, if you want to put it that way. But we are on the same level as far as respect. I'm not gonna look at him as more. I only put him ahead because God told me to, and that's in the structure of our home. And you are absolutely correct when it comes down to power, drunk with power. There's wives, there's women that I tell them you're wrong. I mean, they chop their man up.
Yes.
They got the debit card, they give him an allowance, and this isn't because they like, hey babe, you ain't good with money, or hey, you trying to save X amount of dollars, so let's just make sure, blah blah blah. No, you controlling everything because you're making the majority of money. That's not a child. That's not a child. I don't agree with that at all. That's disrespectful. You talk about respect, it's disrespectful.
So Kingdom Living said, money is seen as a power tool in society. If you don't have money, you don't get respect from people. The dominant society wants us to define roles over love. Charlie 2 said, this is one of the topics of staying a student. Oh, man, so they coming in. Okay, so Daryl said, I think there is a mentality of competition when it comes to being in a relationship with someone. True biblically, it says that a man is head of household. However, in most cases, the women bring in more money, and sometimes she feels that she has more say than the man. Charlie 2's just mentioned, I honestly don't think this is a racial issue, but I am well aware of my multicultural being, so I am biased to the race relations. Terry just mentioned, I was raised by a single woman who worked a lot and still affects me. I tend to overstep my boundaries with my husband because I am used to being with a take charge female.
Interesting.
Hold on to that, because that leads into something.
Ding ding.
Robert Connor, thank you for joining us at the round table.
Hey, Robert.
Renee Thompson, Annette Ham, thank you for joining us at the round table.
Hello.
Lakeisha Blaylock, thank you for joining us. Jeremiah Holt, thank you for joining us. Justin Lowry, thank you for joining us. Deneen, thank you for joining us. Man, they are coming in as we speak. So
appreciate it.
Keeley mentions that the universe has a balance, and we've been far removed from that balance, and we're striving to be like those that hate us. What other currencies do you provide besides your wallet?
Yep. And that's it. We have to set our structure of our homes to get back to the true values, the core values, and our core morals of what really is important. Whether your husband makes more money or less money should not affect his status to you and your family in your home. And the women who make more money that feel like I have to, be a little more aggressive, or I have to show a little more strength, that man isn't making her feel secure, and she needs to be honest to say, hey babe, I'm insecure, because that's all that is.
That ain't gonna happen.
So Darren Cook said, I was raised by my grandmother as well, but there are some things that she could not teach me as far as being a man is concerned. And so she had to rely on my uncles to teach me how to be a man. She said, but she did teach me morals and values as well as how to cook and take care of myself. Her model to me was, I'm teaching you this, so just in case you run into somebody that does not know, at least you will know. Charlie 2's mentioned, I am fortunate to have lived multiple styles of families. Again, my exposure level skewed my view. Dean Ferguson, thank you for joining us on At the Roundtable Podcast Show. Dean. We got to chat very soon. Dean's got a lot of things going on as well. Terry agrees. She said, currently I'm in the middle of a pumping session at work. It's tiring, but I got to take care of Biggie even when I'm busy at the office. Good point. Because women do make sacrifices in order to make sure, that's that balance that my sister was just talking about. Can never get away from that nurturing. So they are coming in and they are chiming in. And I think that's kind of interesting because a couple of them just mentioned some things in regards to the money aspect and the respect aspect. But let me throw this out here to y'all. I'm gonna play devil's advocate before I even say anything.
Ready for this?
What about? Gotta go ahead. Somebody been laughing at me now. What about? Because we keep hearing about sisters making more money than the guys, but what about the guys that aren't trying to do any better, and they depend on the sister to be the breadwinner?
That's their choice. That's what she is allowing, and that's what he wants. He want to be taken care of. I mean, here's the thing: everybody's grown.
True.
Nobody just woke up and was just put into this situation. You knew exactly what it was going. Even if you didn't know in the beginning, you knew it. It started unfolding. This is what you signed up for. So if you got a man that wants you to take care of them, and you have obliged, you've agreed, you're doing it.
So it's okay for the sister to come home and he just laid up in there with his, just laid up all comfortable with the drawers on, one sock on. He's playing video games, the latest Madden or whatever.
You hit that position too easy. You just fell right into it.
It was like second nature, bro.
Right.
Second nature. Eddie Digsby, my cousin. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining us tonight, straight from upstate at the Roundtable Podcast Show. Thank you, man. Kingly Living. Thank you again, my brother. I'm telling you, Kingly might mess around, be my manager. People, do what you accept.
Oh.
Y'all King or something?
I'm telling you, me and Keely, I'm saying that's my brother.
No, this is Charlie Tools who said.
Oh, me and Charlie? Oh, you know, that's my sister.
What is that? Alpha female.
She is a Leo, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't she?
Okay, so Kingly just chimed in on what I asked. He said, well, that ain't nothing but a nothing. Whoa. I can't even say that.
A knacker. He's a nothing knacker.
He's a nothing a
knacker.
Yeah, with the N word. He said, and women choosing guys all the time. He said, if he's laying good wood, most of women will accept that.
Yeah.
Kingly Living. Well, I'll tell you.
That's the truth.
Kingly Living. Jim Miller just joined us on At the Round Table. Thank you, Jim, for joining us tonight. Topic of tonight is, has roles reversed in today's society? Are men doing more what women do and vice versa? What are your thoughts, Jim? What are your thoughts, Eddie? Dean, tell us, what do you think? Charlie said, I am 100% Leo.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Boom.
That's it. All right. So with that being said, so it's okay if a sister come home and he just laid up there. He hasn't tried to go get a job. He got to borrow money from her because he getting ready to go chill. He get the keys from her because he done been at home all day.
If that's what she wants, if that's her definition, she'll rather be with somebody than nobody. That's usually what that is.
God, that's hurting my heart right there, man.
And didn't even put in a hot plate in there in the stove for the young lady coming in.
A hot pocket or something, nothing.
She's been at work all day. She come home, he's just sitting there chilling. He hasn't cooked or anything. Yeah, he just hey babe, ain't done nothing. Excuse my Ebonics, but hasn't done anything. And he's gonna borrow the car, probably get a little change from him, and he out. So then she's got to go cook. She got to straighten up the house because he's obviously left a mess. That one sock on, the other sock is somewhere in the house. She gonna find that sock.
And guess what? She's lonely.
But you know what? I think that contributes to the role
because he's gone. She's lonely. She's not even she doesn't even have companionship because he's out.
But then he comes home. Like he's been hanging out with fellas.
Yeah. Eventually she will wake up, hopefully, because there ain't no wood that good. I'm sorry.
So Kingly said, if a man doesn't value himself a real woman, is not going to value him.
Nope.
Carrie, a lot of women accept that rather than be lonely.
Oh.
And it's sad. My sister, don't do that. No, there's somebody out here for you.
Yep.
God, don't do that. So Daryl just mentioned, he said, I think too that there are fellows that have two jobs that are making money to provide for their homes, but there are some women who feel like that's not enough. Say Kanye, Started on fries. But there are some women who feel like that's not enough. Most arguments in relationships, 9 times out of 10, revolve around who makes more money. Women often say, I can do bad by myself. Sis, why? Why, sis?
Why would I want to have the extra headache, heartache, and weight of you when I can deal with this on my own? And honestly, a lot of times you can get further, you'll get more help and assistance because you don't have all of that. You got this man over here. There's a young lady having this conversation. She's not married. She has a boyfriend. They just had a child, and she's trying to secure, build her credit, and she wants to get a home next year. And so she was saying, she works full time. She's made really good strides, and she's like, I'm trying to find a part-time job. And I was like, oh, so then I said, why? She's like, oh, well, I'm trying to do this, blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay. I said, so what's your boyfriend doing? So she was like, oh, well, he got a job, he works. I said, yeah, but why is he going out? Why are you going out to get a 0.5? He needs to go get the 0.5. You got a baby. That is your 0.5. If you need extra money in the house, he needs to go and get it. Not you. Or y'all both agree to get something together. But you don't need to go out there and get a 0.5. He needs to go get it. And she was like, well, he'll be able to take care of the kids. And then I said, well, you can take care of the kids. Why he go out there and get a 0.5? Like, the conversation was, it wasn't he's working or he's taking extra hours at his job or he's working overtime. No, he goes to work, he comes home, and that's it. And you're going to go out here to get, absolutely not. It's not happening. It's not happening. Me and Ben both gonna work part-time. If somebody got to get a part-time. I ain't going out here and hustle no part-time while you at the house. That ain't going down to mine. Now, I can't tell you how somebody else's house. And I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying I have a problem with it as far as roles.
Okay.
Because you should be the provider of the house. And if I'm already making more money than you, why can't you go ahead and make some more money?
I was waiting for it.
It was like, here we go. Okay. Good point. So Kingsley just said, and if a woman is accepting that, shows us how she feels about herself. But if that same man tries to come up, that same woman will castrate that man for getting his life together. So it's a catch-22, you're saying.
Yes.
Once, when she feels like she's losing him, she will pay him to support his drug habit or bad habits. Wow. Charlie just chimed in. She said, if your values do not move together, you will grow apart.
Yep.
Quintessential Queens, thank you for joining us on At the Roundtable Podcast Show. Phil, thank you for joining us on At the Roundtable. My cousin, my beautiful cousin. Kimberly Hudson, Jeremy alumni. What's going on? Thank you for joining us at the Roundtable. Yes. So Daryl just said, however, Carrie, you have guys who do take care of the house, cooking and cleaning, and most women say they appreciate his effort, when in all actuality, they really don't.
But I mean, that's the lies, though. I mean, why are you lying to somebody that you're in the house with, that you're laying with, that you're, you know what I mean? Why are you lying? Why are you saying, be honest? But we have to learn how to communicate. And I'm saying this as me too, because I am daily taking lessons on how to communicate to my husband, to my children, to my peers. Those who know me know I'm very straight up and down. And sometimes it's a little heavy for people what I say or how I say it, I should say. So I'm learning how to communicate. And I realize that the less you sugarcoat stuff, it makes it easier for you to not have to prolong for. Like, if your husband has, or your man has washed, cooked, cleaned, you know, but he's not looking for a job, and you're like, oh, oh, it look good. Oh, it smell good, babe. But you really wanted to hear him say, hey, I was looking for a job. I'm trying to find work, or I did this, I did that. Maybe he's an entrepreneur. Not that he's a bum, but he's trying to get his business off the ground. I mean, there's all types of situations, scenarios that can fall into.
Mm-hmm.
But that woman needs to be honest to her mate and say, I appreciate this. So it's important that you do X, Y, Z as far as bringing in some money. So how about next week, you focus on money, I'll do the house. Even though I'm at work, I'll do this or I'll do that. Like, that's the conversation that you're supposed to have. Not, as Daryl said, you're like, oh yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But you're pissed. And now there's these unspoken attitudes that the men have to deal with because and she don't even know, he don't even know what's going on. I cooked, I clean.
Girlfriends come around to it.
Right, because you talking smack like cold cash about this dude.
Yeah.
And
tell your girlfriends and then all of a sudden she.
Right. So you I mean, like it just, you need to be honest. You need to be honest. You need to be honest. And the same thing goes for the guys. You need to be honest. Like, if you really to do something, if your values, you want to try to obtain a goal, and if you feel like it's something y'all need to do together, say that.
Yeah.
Don't have like all this ambition and this plan, and then when it doesn't work, then you looking at your wife or your woman like, well, if you would have helped me, or now you're nitpicking, and she don't know what's going on. I didn't know you was trying to save $5,000 in 6 months. I didn't know you was trying to, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta be honest. You gotta be honest.
Hey, Kingly Living. I know you had mentioned something to me a couple of days ago dealing with roles in church. Want to know if you want to share that? Well, I can throw it out there.
Go on, throw it out there.
Hold on, he just replied to Daryl. They're having a conversation in here, all these people.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah, Kingly said, Daryl, that's true. To tell a woman that win over good men.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. The first time that man says no, she claims he's in the wrong. Charlie Tube mentioned, here's the thing. If your examples were poor, you're not knowledgeable about yourself or relationships, you're at a disadvantage, period. Wow, that's deep. Kingly said, they sell us Beyonce and Jay-Z and all these relationship goals, but we don't understand the spiritual side of the relationship.
A lot of them don't have one.
All right.
There is, it isn't one.
Wow. I'm telling you, Kingly and Charlie too, they're just like going.
Go ahead and
go ahead. Trying come on in, man. Come on in. Yeah. And go.
Jump.
I was gonna give him an opportunity to bring it up because he put it so eloquently.
I think you need to bring it up.
Let's go and bring it up. We can tie it up in a bow.
Go on, yeah. He'll go on here and put it out
there. With role change, the topic again is men and women and their roles in society changing.
Okay.
Women in the pulpit.
What about it?
Yeah.
Is there a problem?
Is there a problem?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's
not an issue. But go ahead. Let me hear what you say first.
You open to it? Okay.
I feel that women in the pulpit is it came out of a necessity. Problem is when you have roles are defined by what you do, and it defines who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a role that is a leadership position, and then those roles stop being for everyone, meaning your leadership is now tailored towards certain things, personal agendas, you have to find out the hard way, sometimes a hurtful way, but then you need someone else to step in. When it comes down to a church, if we are talking about a church that's ordained in God, because I don't believe a man or woman need to be in the pulpit if they wasn't told to by God. I don't believe that.
One more time.
If you were not told by God to be in the pulpit, you shouldn't be in it. I don't care if you're a man or a woman.
Spirit led.
So the church opening up the pulpit to have women pastors and you know, the same things happen regardless of whether it's a man or a woman. You have just as many men whores in church as you do women whores. So I'm serious. They look.
I didn't see that one coming.
If she's not married, after her dismantling the rumors of her being a lesbian, there's men that are following in trying to be her companion, just like with a man, a pastor, a male pastor. The financial questions still come around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it really doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female being in the pulpit, because the same thing comes to you. It speaks to your character on how you handle it if you can do the job. That's why you need to be ordained by God to be in that.
That's what I'll say.
So Charlie 2 said, they are not my relationship goals. My own life and family were mine. I grew up in healthy and unhealthy relationships within my own family, so celebrities were never my role model. Sorry. So she's responding to King Living and what he said about Beyonce and Jay-Z. King Living just mentioned OA money. I like how you did that. OA money. Women run the church and the pastors cater to single women to keep the money coming in. A strong black man isn't going to listen to lies for so long. That's why so many women run the church. Charlie did mention, said, if God is not leading you, you don't sit in the pulpit, period. She's giving a word. Okay.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, they dropping it. They dropping it. One thing I want to throw out there real quick, and I'm just going to mention it, and I'm going to just come off of it because I don't want to get heavily into it. But the Bible does tell us that in time that God will pour out his spirit on all. He didn't say men, just men. He didn't say just women, but he said all. So if he's pouring out his spirit on all, that means all has the opportunity to profess and speak the gospel.
Yep.
And then, throw this last one out there, y'all think about it. When the woman put oil on Jesus' feet and wiped her hair with it, and I'm just going to throw it out there, I'm going to let y'all marinate on that. People out here listening and stuff, if you don't think that women can be in the pulpit, I'm going to just throw that out there to you, and we'll let it marinate with you, and you'll figure it out.
But I also feel that your spirit of having the gift to spread the gospel, to speak, and to tell of the goodness does not necessarily mean that you got to be a pastor.
You hit the nail on the head. She got it right out the gate.
Yeah.
Because we are, as Christ's children, to lead by example and not by favor of man. I'm just going to lay it out there like that.
Don't test the lines, got to go.
That's right. So tonight's topic, y'all, if you're just coming in at the round table, it is, are roles reversed in society today? Let me go ahead and stir it up one more time for you.
Stir it up.
All right, so we've talked about thumbs up. Thank y'all. So we've talked about, as far as men and women, we talked about work, we talked about money and such. How does this play when it comes to roles being reversed when we're educating our young people?
It's good.
Because that is the hidden topic that I think many people do not want to talk about because of what's been going on as of late. Me Too movement. We talked about something came on the news this morning in regards to a young person who was transgendered, and they could not go to the bathroom because of how they identify themselves, and now there's a lawsuit because of it. I'm saying all these things because our children are the end recipient of what we decide upon today.
I feel that whole movement that we're dealing with, that to me, that has nothing to do with roles. I feel that has its own separate agenda and it's its own separate beast. I have two daughters, 19 and 17. I've always taught my daughters what I've learned. I've never told them, well, your daddy should be doing this, but I do it. They look, they see, and I tell them, I want you to know how to do it, so you're not at the mercy of ignorance or vulnerable because you don't know how. And you also need to know how to do it But when somebody comes to help you, that you can say, oh, they do know what they are doing. You need to be knowledgeable about all types of skills because you're going to take them for the rest of your life. You don't get a pass because you're a girl. I don't know how to wire a light and change out, different things that has to do with electricity. That's not my field of expertise. But they should know that's something that can be done. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the things that I know how to do, whether it's hang a shelf, whether it's move furniture, whether it's to change the tire on a car, whether it's to at least where to check the oil on the car, these are things that society says, oh, that's a man's role. That's a lie. It's a driver's role. You don't get a pass because you're a girl. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if and when it happens, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna call AAA, or hopefully there's a nice gentleman comes to assist you. If he goes to the trunk talking about he's looking for the oil, you already know you stuck. But if you just dumb as hell, you know what I mean? Like, you can't. I don't raise my daughters to fit into gender roles, but I do raise them to be knowledgeable. And I think that all that other stuff, that's something totally different. And parents need to step up and be held accountable for teaching your kids how to think their way out of a bag. That doesn't mean, oh, well, you're a girl, so you don't have to know that. If you're a boy, you don't have to do that. You know what? My grandmother taught my aunts and my uncles the same thing: how to cook, how to flip their collars on a shirt when it got frayed. That's something that you did because that's a life skill. And I think a lot of the parents have dropped the ball getting in behind and caught up with all of that propaganda of, oh, we're just going to all love everyone. Everyone is equal. Oh, that's so great. You don't need to have anybody invade your personal self and all this kind of stuff. Teach your daughters and teach your sons how to be good people. Mm-hmm. Teach them how to do something, period. Not, oh, well, you're a boy, you're a girl. Teach them how to live. Give them life skills so when they're in whatever role they're in, they can do it. That's where our youth is starting to fail because the parents aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Sorry.
I think it's a delicate dance. I'll talk on this real briefly. Like, for example, we talking about the stay-at-home father. Now, we done talked about this a couple of times as far as women being natural nurturers and being the hunters and providing the home with what it needs.
Right.
Flip those roles around, and I'm putting myself into this. I know good and well, me personally, I can't, even though my intentions are wanting to do it, I can never nurture my kids as well as my wife, to me, as far as emotional needs and everything. I can try, but that's to me saying that I wouldn't be able to do as good of a job as what she is.
But you're speaking honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you had that definition with Queen T saying, okay, look, I can take care of them. You ain't going to, beat them and all that. But you're like, you got 2 hours. You got 2 hours and then that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the honesty. That's fine. So as a woman, okay, well, I'm going to have to make whatever accommodation so he can make sure that he's doing what he needs to do and I can take care of the kids because that's not what he does. But you have those women that want to get caught up in all that other stuff.
Yes.
And then that's when you start having these stories on the news. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Because the dude and I already let you know, hey, I don't mind, but this is not really what I have patience for. This is not really what I'm good at. But you determine you're going to make them stay at home because you can make the money. Like, that's not fair.
Ain't no 4 or 5 times with little Jimmy.
Ain't no 4 or 5 times.
I'm going to the. I was just leaving right there.
Kiki Lynch, thank you for joining us at the Roundtable Podcast Show. Christopher Williams, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Crystal Coxon, thank you for joining us.
Hey.
Ronnie Hunter, thank you for joining us at the Roundtable.
Hello.
So Charlie just said we were raised with dual roles in our household. There were not men or women roles. There were, this is what you need to do to thrive in life.
That's right.
So men cooked, women fixed cars, and it rotated because you needed to be counted on.
Yep.
Dependable and accountable as good keeper, period. Kingsley said, I never said I had a problem in the pulpit.
Mhm.
I'm just speaking on how the Holy Trinity excludes the woman. Women keeps families together, and when it comes to young people and telling them, we have to teach them the correct history and not let the dominant society do it for us.
Yep.
I can feel that.
Yep, I agree.
Anything from the dominant society is an agenda to destroy Black people. The LGBTQ agenda and transgender movement is seeking to normalize grown people sexualizing kids. Many parents have dropped the ball because they are too busy on Facebook instead of teaching lessons. Whoa.
That in that face-to-face interaction, don't know what your kids are doing, haven't been inside their room.
Letting TV and the internet raise them.
That's
That's why
right.
they're so
Raise
desensitized
That's
right
it.
now.
And they're
That's it.
so confused.
Mm-hmm.
So Daryl just said, if the truth be told, we as parents are our children's teacher.
Yep.
We are the ones who should be teaching them after all the scripture tells us to train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it.
That's right.
Mhm.
Lead by example, and trust me, our children are watching us.
Your
Booyah.
church and the school
That's
should
what I'm
reflect
saying.
your home. Your kids should not be learning principles and character and morals from the church and the school. And I know that sounds crazy, especially when church being an institution, but they should be reflecting and enforcing what you are teaching your kids in the home.
True that.
The topic, Valerie Rendelman, thank you for joining us at the round table. Mark Barber, thank you for joining us at the round table.
Hey, good to hear from you, Mark.
Mark.
Been
Man.
missing for a minute.
He has been. Man, a lot of people are coming on, y'all, and they're talking. We still got 9 minutes to keep going.
9 minutes. Let's get it going.
So that's interesting that everyone is mentioning in regards to the parents, and I kind of threw that in there, stirring it up, and I'm telling you, it was a good one to stir up. So with parents, we set the tone. Am I correct?
I agree.
So what we do is what children are watching us do.
Yes.
So for all intents and purposes, if we have our roles defined in our household, in which, just throwing out a couple of scenarios, if daddy comes home, he's been working hard, and he comes in, throws the stuff down, mama's in there cooking, he comes in, he just sits down, he doesn't say, hey, how you doing? Ask her how she is, want to talk to the kids, maybe throw the ball, check on the homework or whatever, so he just comes in. Then the mentality that's going to be taught to the kids is that a man's supposed to work and he's not supposed to connect with the family.
And it also starts to promote unhealthy emotional processing.
Mm-hmm. So then, Trav Perry, thank you for joining us at the round table. Coming in. So then, if a child comes home and he recognizes that dad is always there, and mama's away at work, and dad takes me to school, and dad always comes to my games, and dad does all these things, and he has the food cooked and everything, and it's a daughter, what's the message that we're giving to the daughter?
That's what she's going to look for in her man.
She's going to look for that in her man, but then she's also going to be taught that quote-unquote Miss Independent scenario as well. There's no balance.
That's why I said it's a delicate dance.
It's a very delicate dance, and that's why, even with single parents and such, there has to be the opportunity for that single parent to provide an opportunity for that young person to see a role model, a positive role model, not the ones we see on TV and video and Facebook and such, but positive role models, so they in turn can get at least some balance.
Somebody you can look at to mentor. Single parent, me too, Charlie. Mother raised us. She was very strict. Bible toting mom, and as she got older, and I got older, we started sharing conversations, and she started sharing with me some of her methods and the reasons on why she was the way that she was. And she said, she didn't know any better, and she felt that she was doing what she thought was right. Because of having to take care of not one but 2 children, she felt that she did what she could do.
Right.
And becoming a grandmother, I saw signs of my mom. I was like, who is this woman? Because that same style of love was not extended to me. And so it definitely, you learn from having that change, where I was like, okay, wow, I don't have to be just like her. I can have my own way of raising my children. I have my own way of having a household, having a 2-parent household. You start breaking cycles. You start changing because you want to have something different. And I think that when you bring in children, you bring in parents, you bring in, money and social aspects, faith-based aspects. You have all these different variables that come in, but that house is the nucleus. Mm-hmm. And it starts to either translate or is a barricade to not even let it in. And I think that's where we have to take our houses back, our homes back, our families back, to say, this is what we do. I don't care what they do outside. And I used to tell my girls that when they were little, and I tell them that now. I don't care who that is, what they do, and how they do it. Mm-hmm. It's not what go down here.
Mm-hmm. Charlie too just chimed in. Mm-hmm. She said LGBTQIA+ is not about sexuality. It is about gender. The heterosexual has sexualized that, not the community. I am an ally. King Living just said, also in society, a lot of Black women and are somewhat looked down on if they have a husband. Society tells our Black women to be sluts. The biggest threat to society is a healthy Black family structure.
And that's why they don't show it.
Mm-hmm. And then he said that is why we're so under attack from all angles. Even the dad, if the dad is home, the dad has to teach that child and vice versa.
True.
And it's powerful.
But just because we don't see it promoted doesn't mean that it does not exist. So when they start having all these statistics about Black fathers and this, that, and the other, I dismantle it and I don't agree with it. I don't allow my daughters to say minorities. We are not a minority any longer. That's why white America is so shook. So there's certain things that we have to teach our communities to say no. And even when she didn't have a man in the house, you had other families that helped. I don't know where we got to where we stopped taking care of one another. Talk about roles. What happened to that role? You want to kind of get stuck on roles as man and a woman. What about man as a role as a human? When did we stop caring for other people? We are designed to be compassionate because we are royal. God made us royalty. So when did we stop being compassionate?
You should just drop something deep over here.
Yes, you caught that too, huh? Yeah. That is a very good point. Very good point. Man, this topic right here, I'm telling you, we were hoping to do it, but
what? Go ahead, A-Money. Go ahead. Real quick.
We have to thank Cheryl Parks for sharing this topic discussion.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so we want to give her a shout out.
That's it. That is it. Shouts out to our what do we call her? Our hidden producer.
Yes.
Yeah, this was all her right here. But we definitely want to thank everybody for chiming. Oh, Charlie too just chimed in. She said, "I don't live or teach that society King Lee is speaking of. I am so proud of my Euro-melanin DNA structure." And that's the one thing, and I want to make this very clear while we're here, is the fact of at the round table. Because at the round table allows all of us to have a voice. Yep. And I definitely appreciate Charlie and King Lee and many of you individuals that have come on board tonight.
Open dialogue.
It's very open. I'm not going to say there's no wrong answer. What I'm going to say is you have a voice here.
You have a voice and there's no judgment.
No judgment at all. Because at the end of the day, Hugh Brian Delaney, thank you for joining us at the round table. Another Garinger alumni, my man. Thank you for joining us tonight.
G-Dogs.
Hugh, what our topic was tonight, and we've got less than 50 seconds, is it was talking about basically how roles were reversed in today's society, where the man is doing what the woman does and vice versa, as well as other areas. If you get the opportunity, it's going to post up very soon. Watch it, share it, comment on it. The comments are still flowing, y'all. Okay, even though we're about to shut down, you can still comment on it, and then those comments can, of course, educate others because we always post this to YouTube and social media.
Yes.
So people can hear, they can see, and they can know that there is a positive side of the media.
like Melissa would say too, we always go back and check the additional comments, keep sharing, keep commenting.
And if it's something that, are very rarely, but we do have some people who are sensitive to the subject matter because of who views it, but they want to share, they inbox us, they give us a message, and they say, hey, I just want to do that. And a lot of times I'll copy and paste it in the comments for me. That way they can still get their point or their question done. So we ask that you watch it, you share it, and like I said, whoever we can see, you can share it the most, you get a copy of Our Brother's free book signed.
I'm sorry.
Daryl Cook just chimed in. They still coming in. They love to do that when we're getting close to the end because he notes a healthy Black family structure, us under attack from the inside as well as the outside.
I agree.
Excuse me. It takes a village to raise a child went out the window, especially when the village started becoming corrupted, i.e. sex crimes against children. Charlie just mentioned no judgment at all. This is what I appreciate about the roundtable. At the roundtable, we all have a seat to speak. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sis, thank you. And again, we say this in all sincerity, that when you come on here, it is no judgment. We want to hear your voice. This goes back to what we used to do with our ancestors when we were, quote unquote, in a village, and it took the village to raise. We all sat around, we shared, and we loved each other. So thank y'all for joining us tonight.
Charlie, too, I'm taking that. A seat. Everyone has a seat to speak. I'm just telling you right now, you will be seeing that.
That is dope. That's the hashtag.
And the award show, sir.
Oh, gosh. Boy, he loves putting me on the spot. I don't even thinking about it. Okay, so here goes. At the round table, we'll be attending the UTM Awards. The UTM Awards is an award that was developed 3 years ago to identify individuals that do an amazing thing in their respective society, whether they are writers, whether they're musicians, if they do restaurateurs, whatever the case may be. You get the opportunity to vote for them. Well, nominate them right now. Got a month of nominations that are going to be going on right now, and then we're going to put out voting, and then from there we're going to identify and present an award to these individuals. So if you know an author, if you know somebody who's a restaurateur, if you know somebody that does music, spoken word artists, community activists, individuals that are in the gospel, whatever the case may be, visit www.urbantmedia.com tonight and throughout this month and nominate who you think deserves an award, and then we'll start the award process of voting. It is something that is loyal to my heart because I think we need to identify and recognize and love each other now rather than wait till they're gone and then you want to give accolades and flowers and name buildings after them. Love them now. Don't wait till later.
That's right.
That is that. My brother threw me out there on that. And I'm about to shut this down before I start preaching. So, Charlie 2 said, be my guest, shared with love, sis. I am happy you appreciate it. It is just the truth.
Thank you so much, sis.
Man, we love you.
We see you in a few weeks.
Yes.
And I'll talk to you off the air. So with that, we want you guys to know we appreciate you. Truly, you are our family. People's Podcast is just that. We would not have a podcast without the people. So we are going to say good night, and we are going to say we'll see you next show, which will be week after next, with our Try
It for Life.
Try It for Life. Try It for Life. I'm sorry. Try It for Life organization will be our next show. We're talking about women's fitness, talking about pushing the boundaries, pushing the squares out the boxes.
All right.
Y'all heard it first right here.
And loving each other like your family.
That's right.
All right. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye.